Yes, party people, we are back for another video, and in this video I'm going to be going through how I would go from 0 to 10k a month as fast as possible in 2025. My name is Daniel Budden, I'm 27 years old and I manage over 100 properties on Airbnb completely remotely from here in Dubai. And like I say, today we're going to be going through how I would go if I started again from 0 to 10k a month as fast as possible. Now there are a lot of options out there. We can go Amazon FBA, crypto, trading, forex, etc. Obviously, I'm going to use the thing that I know the best, which is Airbnb management. So that's what this video is going to be about. But I'm going to show you in this video how good it can be and how fast you can actually get to 10k a month. So let's get straight into it. In terms of Airbnb management, for people who don't know what it is, this is where you manage someone's property on Airbnb and get paid a percentage fee for doing so. An example would be if the gross revenue on Airbnb was $4,000, my management fee, which would be 20%, is $800 to manage that property on Airbnb for the landlord or the owner. What does management actually include? It includes checking the guests in and checking them out, getting the cleaners in and out, and sorting the maintenance. And that's basically the extent of it. There are some other stuff, optimizing the listings, making sure we get bookings in, etc. But most of it is checking the guests in and out, making sure they've got the keys, guest messages, etc. Organizing the cleaners and organizing the maintenance. You might be thinking, but Dan, I need to do all that. No, you do not need to do the cleans. People think that who's going to do the cleanings between the guests. The cleaners will do the cleanings, obviously. The maintenance teams will do the maintenance. You don't actually have to do any of it yourself, and that is why you can manage it completely remotely like I do from Dubai. How do we get started? How do we get our first landlord? How do we get to 10k a month as fast as possible? So the first thing you need to realize is some properties are going to make you more money than other properties. An example would be we have one property in Manchester that does $2,500 a month, and we only get paid $500 a month management fee. We have a property in London that does $20,000 a month, and we're getting paid upwards, $3,500, $4,000 management fee. To get to 10k a month as fast as possible, we want more of the properties that pay us more. So we want more of the bigger properties, luxury, and these properties are luxury properties, countryside homes, bigger properties, penthouse, great location. So first off, if we want to get to 10k a month as fast as possible with Airbnb management, then we want to target big properties, because then we only need 3 of them. If we have 3 properties that are doing 3 to 4k each per month in fees, then we're going to hit 10k a month, whereas we don't want to have to take on 10 of them, because managing 3 properties is much easier than managing 10 of them. So how do we actually get the property? First thing we need to do, get ourselves to networking events, and also just tell everyone what we do. Tell our family, tell our friends, put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, put it literally everywhere. Put it on your bulletin for your local town or your local city. Genuinely, you'll be surprised how close your first deal is if you just tell everyone exactly what you do. But the important part here is we're looking for luxury, high-end properties. Do not try and market to everyone. Try and be very specific for what you're looking for, because then it becomes very easy for someone else to give you a property when you're being very specific. Can't get that out. It's specific. If you go to someone and say, yeah, I'll take on any property, then it's much harder for them to realize what you actually want. Whereas if you say, I want 4 to 5 bedrooms in this location, or I want penthouse, or I want luxury, I want high-end, much easier for them to refer someone to you. And also, they are literally the properties you want. You don't want to be taking on 20 properties that make you $500 a month when you could just take on 3 ones that are making you 3 to 4k a month. So first off, positioning. We need to position ourselves right. We want to know the properties we want to take on. I've just told you, we want to take on big houses, good location, or like luxury apartments, etc. in the city centre. Ones that do lots of revenue each month, because our management fee will be higher. And then it's about talking to the right people, and the fastest way to get your first deal is just networking, telling everyone what you do, telling them that you're now running an Airbnb management business, get a simple website set up, get some good branding set up and logo. You can use people on Fiverr or Upwork to create that for you. And then it's about just telling everyone what you do. You can also run Facebook ads, you can work with estate agents, etc. But the best place to start is your friends, your family, your current network. And if you don't have a current network, then find one. Facebook Marketplace, you can find properties on there. OpenRent in the UK, Zillow in the US, and you can start finding landlords to talk to. Once you find a landlord to talk to, or someone refers a landlord to you, then it's about pitching your offer. But the worst thing you can do is just jump straight into sales mode and try and pitch them. You need to find out, what is the situation with the property? Is it currently vacant? Is it currently tenanted? What is their strategy at the moment? If they've done an Airbnb before, is it set up as an Airbnb? The best way to get a deal over the line is build rapport and build trust with someone before you jump straight into some sort of sales tactic like a maniac. You need to build trust with someone. You need to become their friend. And people get this so wrong in sales. People buy off people, and people invest in people. And at the start, to get your first deal, it's the same as any online business. To get your first deal, it's always the hardest. But to make it easier for yourself, stop trying to sell, start trying to build rapport and trust with someone instead. And then at some point, someone's going to trust you and they're going to invest in you and say, yeah, actually, you take the property on. Let's say now, we found the properties we want. We've told our family and friends. Someone has referred a landlord to us. That we've built the rapport with them. Comes to pitch the offer, what are we actually offering them? What does Airbnb management actually include? It is a totally hands-off service for the landlord, and you're going to manage everything in terms of to put this property live on Airbnb. Like I say, the guest messaging you're going to sort, the guest calls you're going to sort, you're going to sort the cleaners going in and out, and you're going to sort the maintenance. So it's a lot of, for a landlord to do this themselves, that's a lot of work. But for you to do it with the right systems and the right processes and the right automations in place, it's not a lot of work. And obviously you have the expertise, so you come with the solution. In terms of the actual pricing structure and offer, I do 14% management fee for a 12-month contract, 18% management fee for a 6-month contract, and then 22% management fee for this is all of gross revenue for a monthly contract. This pushes landlords to sign a longer contract, then they're locked in for more, so you can make more money for a long period of time. That's when we pitch the offer. We say, look, we can give you a completely hands-off service. You won't get any calls or anything like that. Your property will be kept in clean condition. You don't have any tenant issues. We'll manage everything for you. And sometimes landlords think that for some reason a normal rental is less hassle than Airbnb. It's not less hassle, and they think that a normal rental has less risk. It doesn't have less risk either. So what I would say is you need to try and just explain that to landlords. It's just as hands off as having a guaranteed rent person in there. It's even better than having a tenant in there because our guests don't have tenants' rights, so you can kick them out if they don't pay. Simple stuff like that. But the main things you want to say is they're going to make about 20 to 30% more operating as an Airbnb over operating as a traditional rental. How can you provide, the biggest thing at the start there is how can you provide value to them? So you want to provide value by offering them a free Airbnb management valuation. And the tool you want to use for that is Property Market Intel. Just literally Google Property Market Intel. You can go on short-term rental valuation, you can get a free trial, and you can pull off a full PDF report of how this property will perform on Airbnb. And you can put your management fee in there so they can see what you take as management fee, and you can send that to your landlord with your branding on as well. So once you've sent that to the landlord, you've got the contracts, you've obviously talked to someone like myself to get the contract, sent the contract across with your 14% management fee or your 22% if it's on monthly. They've signed the contracts, and now you've got the keys to the property. Now what do we do? Well, hopefully at this point you would have realized if the property is set up for Airbnb or if it isn't set up for Airbnb. If it isn't set up for Airbnb and we want to be as hands-off as possible and want to do this remotely, then you want to instruct a staging company and then add a markup to arrange that staging company for the landlord. The staging company might charge $2,500 to $3,000, but that is the landlord cost and not your own. So that's if the property is not set up. If it's not set up and you're actually in the area and you don't want to start this from remotely and you're in a different country, you can actually set the property up yourself and get paid that $2,500 or $3,000 to set the property up for the landlord. You don't have to pay for the furniture, but the landlord's going to pay you that fee so you can arrange the full setup. If the property is already set up as an Airbnb, let's say it's perfect, it's a great scenario, you've taken on the management, it used to be a rental, now you're taking on the management, it's all set up perfect, then what we need to do, it's ready to go live on Airbnb, we need to get professional photos. So many people don't get professional photos at the start, and they think, oh, I'll just go live with these photos. No, do not do that. I went live with bad photos, and oh, did I pay the price. I did not get bookings for like the first month or even 2 months. You need to get professional photos. If you're going to take anything from this video, get professional photos. If you don't think you would stay in a property, let's be realistic here. If you go onto Airbnb and you look at a property, I'm in an Airbnb right now. If you're on Airbnb and you're looking at properties, you look at the properties with the best photos. So make sure your property has the best photos. Get a professional photographer, and with Airbnb management, the landlord pays for them anyway. So you just charge that cost to the landlord anyway. So professional photos is absolutely massive. Then you need to optimize the listings. You need to get it on multiple platforms, not just Airbnb. You want to put it on Airbnb, Booking.com, Vrbo, TripAdvisor, the whole Expedia group. There's so many places you can get it on. Get it on all of those platforms, and then centralize your systems using a channel manager like Guesty. For those who don't know what a channel manager is, this is a piece of software that centralizes all of your calendars, it centralizes all of your communication, and it means everything's basically in one place. You can also do a lot of automations from there. So this means if a person books on Airbnb and then someone wants to book on Booking.com, they won't be able to book the same dates, because when booking comes in from Airbnb, it blocks it out on the calendar on Guesty, and that blocks it out on the calendar on Booking.com. instantly, so no one can double book, and that stops double bookings. It also means that if I have an Airbnb booking and a booking.com booking, those inboxes are synced and I can see the different messages just within Guesty. So rather than having to log into Airbnb, log into booking.com, I can just be logged into Guesty and I can chat to everyone within Guesty rather than having to jump into booking.com or Airbnb. Same with Verbo, connect it in. Same with Expedia and connect it in. Same with TripAdvisor, you can connect it in or into Guesty. So now we've got the listings live on all the platforms, we've got the channel manager set up. Now what we need to do is plug the different teams in. So we need to plug the cleaners in. The way to find a good cleaning team, get on Facebook Marketplace, talk to operators already in the area who are using cleaners. A cleaner that gets referred is always better than a cleaner found on your own. You'll find that having a good cleaning team will make or break your business, so make sure you get a good cleaning team. Always try and get a referral, because this normally means if someone refers someone, they're probably going to be good. Plug them into Guesty so they can see the calendar of when guests check in and when guests check out. That's all automated now. The cleaners just go in when they need to go, when they check in, check out, and when the next guest checks in. Literally the cleaners will sort everything, the full cleans, the linen, get someone who does the full service, and that charge gets passed on to landlord at the end of the month. Maintenance team, all you need to find is a good handyman in each location. Same thing, plug them into Guesty, into the task management software, and then every little maintenance issue that gets reported gets into a pipeline on Guesty, and then the maintenance team can manage it. You're probably thinking, Dan, is that literally it? That is literally it. That is Airbnb management in a nutshell. You're just getting the property live on Airbnb and then just arranging cleaners to be in the right place at the right time, arranging maintenance people to be in the right place at the right time. And Guesty is where you can do all your automation. So all the messages for the guests, automated. The check-in guides, you can automate all of that as well, so you don't have to keep sending it out. The only thing that you'll have to do at the start is a few FAQs from guests, but very quickly you can outsource that to a VA, especially if you get a good property. So we are aiming for properties that make us between $2,500 to $4,000 a month in management fees. So the bigger properties, better location, because that way we can reinvest early into a VA, which is a virtual assistant who can manage the guest messages. So from day one, we don't have to do any guest messaging, which is what I did myself. I actually took 4 properties on before I took a VA, but that is very early for a lot of people. I actually got 2 VAs straight away. It's like when I took the 4 properties on. But most people wait way too long. They do all the guest messaging themselves and they get stressed. And you're probably thinking as well, Dan, surely it's not that easy, but genuinely, it is that easy. Like I say, $3,500. I can give you an example. Last month, for example. Last month, one property, $20,000 in gross revenue, and our management fee for that property was $3,500. Get 3 of those properties, that's $10K a month. So what you need to do now is go away, find your first landlord, find it on all those properties, find it on all those little platforms that I just said, find the first landlord, pitch the deal, get the contract signed, list on Airbnb, put the systems in place, and then scale. It is very easy to manage 3 properties, and I genuinely believe in 2025, this is literally the fastest way to get to 10K a month, because you don't even have to start with any money. That is the craziest part. You're probably thinking, Dan, does it not have to start with loads of capital? No, you literally get paid to take the property on. Once the company's set up, which does not cost a lot at all, there are no costs associated to you. All the costs, the landlord costs. Even when you pitch the deal to a landlord, there's an onboarding fee of $500 to $1,000 that you charge the landlord to onboard their property for your time to put it on auto listings, etc. Yeah, you can negotiate some stuff if it's your first deal, but not only that, once you've got the onboarding fee, you can also upsell if you're in the area and you're not planning to be remote straight away. You can upsell staging and interior, so interior design. So if you stage the property for them, get it ready for Airbnb, you can get paid 2.5 to 3K to stage it for them. So now we're getting about 3 to 4K before we even got the management fee. Then we set up all the systems, etc. And then for the next 12 months, we're getting a management fee. So one property could genuinely replace the normal 9 to 5 income. You get 3 of them, you're at 10K a month. So if you're thinking, Dan, I want to know more, then all you need to do is DM me on Instagram, daniel.budden, just reach out, I'll reply to you personally, and please comment below why you found the video, because there's going to be plenty more videos just like this. And again, drop a subscription if you're new here. And I will see you in the next one for another banging video.